afternoon. I'm Riza Diaz. This is One News Now. Malacanang announced the guidelines for Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine or MECQ on the first day of its implementation across the NCR Plus. Let's get more details. Maricel Halili is reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Good afternoon, Maricel.
Hi, good afternoon, Riza.
First of all, what are the major differences between ECQ and MECQ this time, as explained by spokesman Harry Roque?
Okay, first, I'd like to give emphasis on the announcement of presidential spokesperson Harry Roque earlier. He said that there will be changes when it comes to curfew in Metro Manila. The Metro Manila mayors have decided that the curfew will be from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it won't be from 6 to 5 anymore. It will be from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. here in Metro Manila. But as to other parts of the NCR Plus, Malacanang still has to get an update from the local government units. Aside from that, there will be changes when it comes to those people who will be allowed to go out. Of course, all members of the APOR or those considered APOR will still be allowed to go out. They just have to show their IDs every time some of the law enforcement agencies will ask in checkpoints. Aside from that, those who are 18 years old and below and 65 years old and up won't be allowed to go out, except that this time, since we're already under MECQ, the local government unit has the authority to decide whether to ease the age restrictions, meaning they have option to allow those 15 years old to 18 years old to go out of their houses. There will also be changes when it comes to gathering. Religious activities are now allowed in MECQ areas. 10% of the capacity in a religious venue and worship venues will be allowed. But of course, during the funeral services, only the immediate family will be allowed to attend. Dine-in services are also allowed now under MECQ, but only al fresco. So those indoor dining are not yet allowed. Of course, takeout and deliveries can still be done under Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine.
Marcel, did Secretary Roque or other officials report about the status of ayuda distribution in the capital? Are we on track to finish it within the deadline set?
Well, MMDA Chairman Pablo mentioned earlier that they will ask the ILG to give them more time to distribute the amelioration for those who will be affected. Those who were affected by the implementation of the strict lockdown. Pablo said that he was able to talk to some of the mayors of Metro Manila, and they all agreed it will be impossible for them to distribute the financial assistance in 15 days. So they will ask for more extension. Roque, on their part, said that the president understands the situation. What he wants is just to make sure that they do their best to distribute the amelioration as soon as possible.
Well, thank you very much for those updates. That's Maricel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong. Now, 1 year into COVID-19 pandemic, the government is still scrambling to bridge the gaps in contact tracing, especially in Metro Manila where cases continue to go up. What exactly are the roots of the problem? Mobile Journal Jacob Lazaro will tell us in this report.
It's one of the major pillars in the fight against COVID-19. But in recent months, contact tracing has been a losing battle, at least in Metro Manila, the epicenter of the pandemic. Quezon City has the highest number of COVID cases in the National Capital Region, yet it only has 1,200 contact tracers, a third of what this city of almost 3 million people needs.
Lalo na nung talagang sobrang increase ng cases Kasi sa ganun talaga, lalo na minsan kinukulang na rin sa tao. Yun po. Meron talaga, may mga na-delay din, pero as much as possible, the coming days, habulin lang talaga.
A big part of the problem is funding.
The problem with contact tracing is before DILG gave, I think DILG has about 15,000 contact tracers. They were given budget under Bayanihan 2, if I'm not mistaken. But all of a sudden, it stopped. So So the mayors were caught off guard. So
Last year, the Department of Interior and Local Government hired 50,000 contact tracers using 5 billion pesos from the Bayanihan Fund. But when the virus cases dropped late last year, only 500 million pesos was set aside from the national budget for contact tracing. Combined with the money left over from the Bayanihan Act, the DILG could only hire 15,000 contact tracers. That's just a third of last year's numbers of tracers. When the COVID infection surged in March, Metro Manila had to scramble to find and fund more contact tracers.
Hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-search, mag-hire, mag-train. Pag bumaba, you will remove the contact tracers.
Yeah.
When cases go up exponentially, your contact tracers cannot go up exponentially as well.
Malaya says passage of the Bayanihan 3 could provide the funding they need, but the bill is not moving in the Senate.
We hope that Congress will still pass a Bayanihan 3.
Okay.
And if they do, we hope that there will be substantial funding for us to be able to rehire the contact tracers, which we were not able to hire for this year.
The World Health Organization says there should be one contact tracer for every 800 people, but Metro Manila, with a population of 13 million, has only 10,000 contact tracers. That's one tracer for every 1,500 people. This means that people like Jet have to work doubly hard to get the job done.
Yung mga hindi pa nababaan or sabi natin na contact trace, baka kasi makalabas pa. Sabihin, kasi hindi, supposedly dapat nagka-quarantine kayo sila eh. Malaki yung chance na makahawa pa talaga.
Originally, the Department of Labor and Employment planned to donate 14,000 contact tracers for 1 month. But being short in funds, it went down to 5,000 for 3 months. For now, the Metro Manila Development Authority says it is putting together a patchwork of temporary contact tracers to meet the needs of the NCR.
but the good news is Secretary Bello called me up the other day and he allotted 5,000 contact tracers for Metro Manila.
In the meantime, the burden falls on the people like Jet to man the fort.
Daw kinukulang sa tao ng contact tracing, pero yung community naman, active naman sila.
I'm Jacob Lazaro in We're One News.
Now, here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. Quarantine violators won't be arrested under the slightly looser lockdown in NCR Plus. PNP spokesperson Ildebrandi Osana says this is meant to ease the burden of courts. Violators will instead be charged with fines and community service. The National Economic and Development Authority says economic frontliners may be vaccinated by May or June. Undersecretary Rose De Leon says the best case scenario is begin inoculating those under A4 priority list by May. The cluster includes workers who are highly exposed to the public or are needed to ensure security, consumer, and worker safety. The Armed Forces of the Philippines will hold joint exercises with the United States over the next 2 weeks amid growing tension in the West Philippine Sea. Around 700 U.S. soldiers, up to 1,300 Philippine Army will join the exercises, which will be a hybrid of virtual and physical activities. The annual war games between the military allies were canceled in 2020 due to the pandemic. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.